can reveal so many hidden secrets that the world is now rediscovering. Before agriculture, people lived by hunting wild animals and gathering edible plants. When herbs were plentiful and plants was flourishing, life was good then. Yeah, that time, during our ancestors, the plant had all the nutrients they needed for them to stay healthy. Their life was something called a circle of life. I first remember hearing this in a Disney movie, The Lion King. I hope all of you have seen that one, The Circle of Life. In biology, we learned that all living things need water and air and the sun, the energy of the sun, to produce their food. The plant needs sunlight to make their food called carbohydrate. The plant is then eaten by the animals. The animal eating the plant is then prey to the predatory animal. For instance, an apple on the ground will be partially eaten by a rabbit to build up its strength. They decompose, the leftover of the apple is left on the ground to rot. The process is called decomposition. The decomposition is done to break down the apple into smaller molecules to make nutrients available to plant use. Without decomposition, plants will not be able to use the nutrients found in the apple complex form. If the plant do not get the nutrients, they die. And if the animal waiting to eat that plant doesn't eat it, also die. And what will happen to us? We also die. The lack of nutrients in our modern diet today is caused by, first, the agricultural practices, the modern agricultural practices. Second, the food processing, preservation. Third, unchecked food coming into the country. According to Lady Balfour, author of The Living Soil, she said, agriculture science underwent two great crises during the two World War I and World War II, in which the face of agriculture, ecological and social related as well as economical social problems were the major crises in those times. The use of mineral fertilizers and pesticides, chemicals, and technical intensification in farming was seen as either a cause or a solution to these problems. Scientifics and agriculture debated in Germany to see either if they can increase the use of fertilizer or instead of going to the traditional way. According to Sir Hubbard, he was a scientist from London who went to India to teach people there about chemical fertilizers. But after 25 years staying there, he left with understanding that he was doing the wrong thing. By working with poor farmers, he understood a natural way. By working with poor farmers, he understood a great deal of traditional farming practices relating with soil fertility and health ecosystem survives on. Now I'm going to talk to you about food preservation. I remember when I first came to the United States, everything was new to me, especially the food. I was so sad because everything tasted new to me. But unfortunately, lucky to me, I had my friend from high school, mom, decided to bring me some homemade food from LA when he came to visit me. I was so excited. I said to myself, today I'm going to eat something that tastes familiar to me. But unfortunately, I was disappointed. Why was I disappointed? The food did not taste the way I used to eat it back home. It doesn't mean that she was not a great cook. She was a great cook. Everything was right, but the taste was different because the ingredient that she used was preserved for a long time. Today, most of our food we see in store are preserved with different kind of chemicals, which are harmful to our health. According to the BBC News, July 2004, reported that the US military has devised a way to ensure its troops in battle need never to go hungry, with dry food that can be rehydrated by using dirty water and urine. And the food stay long for 3 years, 3 good years. But they forget that urine causes kidney damage. They also forget that dirty water makes the people unhealthy. And they are our troops. They are there fighting for us, and they are preserving food for them in that way. My third main point is unchecked food coming to the country. Most of the food that we see coming to the country today takes them a long journey before reaching here. Some are picked up and ripe, others are sprayed to make them stay healthy and longer before reaching their destination. According to the Andrew Bridge from the Associated Press of the News, US Today, he wrote that 1.3% of imported food, fish, vegetable, fruit, and other are inspected. Yet, those government inspections regularly reveal the food unfit for human consumption. McDowell, director of the University of Georgia Center of Food Safety, said the FDA does not have enough resources to control over this situation. In 2007, the FDA detained nearly 850 shipments of grain, feed, vegetable, nuts, and spicy soya and other imported goods for issues ranging from filth to unsafe food coloring to contamination with pesticide and salmonella. In brief, the lack of nutrients in our food today is caused by the agricultural practices that we are doing today, the food preservation, and unchecked food coming into the country. Every plant or fruit that is picked and dried or shipped for any longer distance loses its nutrients. Philip Bones, known as Paracelsus, a philosopher and physician during the 16th century, said that all we need for health and healing has been provided in nature. The challenge of science is to find it, not make it, to find it. Just like in the movie The Lion King, all living things need one another to live. We are all one. Thank you.